All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kyle Escamilla, and I am the training coordinator for Aviva Select California. I'd like to thank you for attending our Learn in 30 webinar today focused on centralize, access, and collaborate with Connect. After the webinar this morning, we will be doing a short Q&A, so please type any questions or comments into the Q&A box or the chat box, and we can get to them at the end. Now I'd like to introduce your presenter for today's webinar, Alcanza Cusa. Alcanza is a product specialist here at Aviva Select California. Good morning, Alcanza.
Hello, good morning. Thank you, Kyle. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. So as Kyle mentioned, we will be talking about Aviva Connect today. So the agenda for these 30 minutes or for this webinar is, and I'm going to try my best to keep it under 30 minutes so to respect everyone's time, so everyone benefits from this session. I'm going to be talking about Connect. I'm going to introduce Connect, talk about the two main services that I wanted to cover, which are the data services and the visualization service in Connect. And then I'll take you through a very brief demo just to show you how the platform looks like, how to access it, how to manage it, where to do things, basically. And then after that, we'll do the Q&A. Questions, comments, or requests throughout the webinar, please feel free to put them in the chat. Kyle will be monitoring the chat closely. And I'll finish the material that I have, and then I'll start answering questions.
Uh-oh. Alcanza?
Yes, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it. If you were speaking just now, though, I think you were cutting out.
Oh, sorry. I was just asking if you can see my screen or not.
Yes, I
Okay.
can see the screen. Okay, cool.
Right, perfect. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna start by just going through the PowerPoint presentation really quickly. So, I mean, what is the trigger? What is the problem that we're trying to save with, or solve, sorry, with Connect? Um, as you may know, companies have access to a lot of data, but most of that data is underutilized or under leveraged. And the amount of data companies have access to is only growing exponentially year over year. By 2025, or at least it was predicted in 2021 that by 2025, which is this year, it is estimated that there will be nearly 37 billion connected devices worldwide, generating over 79 zettabytes. That's a lot of data. Industrial organizations are rapidly approaching an astronomical volume of data that they need to manage. It's currently mostly unused or unutilized. So to solve this problem or to help our customers solve this issue, we offer this cloud platform that we call Connect. So let's get to the bottom of it. What is Connect? Well, Connect is our cloud industrial intelligence platform. It's a single source of industrial operational truth for our customers. It brings together hundreds of applications and data sources into one centralized view. So it makes it easier for you to get a clear view of your business in one central location. That way, it enables you to make decisions in real time based on the data that is being stored in Connect. And that's because we have several services at your disposal through Connect, right? These services enable you to get the most value out of your operational data. So you're transforming your unutilized and siloed data into actionable data. Connect will continue to evolve because Aviva is actively investing a ton of time and resources into it. We know that this is the way of the future. So to talk a little bit or to take a closer look at what Connect consists of, as you could see here in the diagram, we have five different components, or Connect consists of five different components. It starts with the first one, the service and usage management component. This is the core service within Connect itself that enables our customers to monitor their credit budgets, manage consumption, and manage, for example, user permissions and roles. I'm gonna show you where and how that looks like in just a little bit in the demo. That's essentially the admin side of things, right? And then we move to number two, um, and this is one of the components that we're gonna talk about a little bit more today, which is the data services, which is previously known as Aviva Data Hub, if you guys are familiar with it. This is for aggregating, storing, contextualizing, and even sharing and manipulating all the industrial data from across the ecosystem. It's the data store, basically. I'll talk more about it later in the presentation because this is one of the key focus of today's session. The third component is visualization services. This allows you to create dashboards from the data that's being shared to Connect. Also, I'll talk about it in more details later and also show you a demo of that. Then we have the modeling and analytics services, previously known as Aviva Advanced Analytics. This is a tool that maximizes your data by using AI and machine learning models to generate real-time prescriptive insights to help you take action based on your existing data. And last but not least, the very last tile right there is the application development services. These allow our technology partners and developers to build custom third-party integration solutions through Connect. So this is a very high-level overview of Connect. So what Aviva did here is essentially was to build an industrial cloud ecosystem, and that's Connect. Through this Connect ecosystem, we're enabling our network of customers, partners, and vendors to collaborate in a single environment that is essentially frictionless and user-friendly. So let's take a deep dive on the data services. I'm going to start with that one first. So, which again used to be called Aviva Data Hub in the past. We're going to start with this because it's really the backbone of your Connect data infrastructure. So what is it exactly? Connect Data Service is essentially the data repository layer. You can think of it as the data repository. It's your cloud data store. You can aggregate data into the cloud from many different sources, and we're going to look at that again also in it just a little bit, Aviva or otherwise. It also talks to non-Aviva systems. You can see those data sources on the left side here of this diagram. There are several categories of industrial data sets shown here. These include remote industrial IoT type sensors. That's the remote assets category at the top. We also have support for various Aviva apps, such as Aviva Historian, Aviva InTouch, Aviva Pi, even System Platform, and also Edge Data Store. But you can also bring in data from third-party data sources if needed, right? Because Connect, at the end of the day, is a neutral platform for all kinds of industrial data, not just the Aviva data. This platform is really built to handle any kind of industrial data, sequential data, no matter what it's coming from. Once your data is shared to Connect, you execute the data services shown in the middle there in this yellow circle, or merge it with metadata information, whatever makes sense to you. You can also shape the data and format it for external consumption. This shaping feature is particularly useful for external tools like BI tools and data science applications, as shown at the top right of the diagram there. With this feature, you can structure your data so that it's automatically digestible by those third-party platforms without needing any advanced data science techniques. Connect Data Services does the work for you, basically. All right, what else do I want to say here? So You can also share the data securely across tenants using what we call communities. This is also something that we're going to see later in the demo. This gives you full control over who access the data, whether they're users within your organization or maybe even external partners. And they can access it from anywhere, right? All they need is just an internet connection. Um, as you can see in the middle, right, in the bottom there, this allows you to incorporate a variety of different data consumers into your audience. The important thing to remember is that you have the ability to curate this entire process at every level of detail. Each of these services you see here in the middle, you control how you curate them. That includes choosing which data streams from which data sources are shared with Connect in the first place. So you don't have to push all of your, for example, if you're pushing data from a Viva historian, you don't have to push all of the data from a Viva historian. That doesn't actually make sense. You technically probably only need some set of data points to be pushed to Connect. So deciding which users also within your organization can manipulate and shape the data. And finally, deciding which internal or external users can view and access that data. This network of users can include trusted partners such as equipment manufacturers, application developers, for example, analytics providers, or anyone else who may need secure cloud access to your data. And as I'm sure you're aware, the traditional process of sharing data with third parties can be difficult to manage. So Connect adds a huge amount of value here by allowing you to share data securely through the cloud in the streamlined, efficient way. All right, so moving to the next step, we're going to talk about Connect visualization, and this is the second pillar that I wanted to mention. So Connect visualization services, well, it's essentially the self-service enterprise visualization component of Connect. It's the layer that sits on top of data services. So again, we're going to see that in the demo. We're going to look at the data services first. This is where you configure all the data coming from all of your data sources, and then use that data in the visualization pillar. You can directly tap into the data that you have stored in data services using a convenient, easy to use point and click environment, which I'll show you later in the webinar. Anyone can do it. Basically, it's very, very easy. All you need to do is search for specific data streams and then select the type of content that you want to create. This can include industrial graphics, line charts, things like column charts, data grids, pie charts, and more. There are a lot of different options available. Once you've created those visuals using the streams you want, you can aggregate them onto dashboards, choose the time frame, for example, of the data you want to display, and then assign access privileges to specific users for those dashboards, whether it's from within your organization or even with partners or third parties. And at that point, since Connect is a cloud product and this tool is browser-based, your dashboards will be viewable on any device that has a web browser. The application will automatically conform to the screen of the device, whether it's a desktop machine, a tablet, or a phone. You don't even have to worry about that. It will display the same on any device, basically. So to wrap up, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on the PowerPoint presentation, I do want to jump to the demo so you guys get to see the product. To wrap up the presentation, I want to talk about why use Connect and its services. Well, there are actually many reasons to use. I've only chosen two use cases here to go through. One of the primary use cases is that Connect basically will solve a common data siloing problem, the one that we talked about at the very beginning of this presentation, and it allows for data aggregation, something that's normally a very painful process. For example, you might have an enterprise, let's say, with multiple plans across different sites, right? So with Connect, you can aggregate data from these different sites into the cloud. Then you can organize and structure it all in a single place on Connect. From there, you can either visualize and combine the data using dashboards or share the aggregated data with third-party tools like, again, Power BI or Tableau, for example. And then we'll also talk about that in just a little bit. You do this using the built-in data shaping mechanism I mentioned earlier. As a result, operational reporting becomes a breeze with Connect, right? You can see how much time it will save you in terms of reporting. Visualization services act as an enterprise level visualization tool, allowing you to create dashboards, drill down into data sets from specific plants, and report on things like equipment performance, downtimes, OE, alarms, and even more, all from just the cloud across all the
Hey, Alcanta. Oh, I was just gonna say maybe repeat that last bit. You cut out a good amount there.
So,
Oh, it sounds like you're still connected. Still can't hear you. Sorry, apologies, everyone.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you now. Your screen share stopped.
Oh, right. Let's redo that again.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, you're coming in clear now. Yeah, sorry, that sounds much better now.
Okay. All right. Give me just 1 second there. How about now? Can you see the screen?
1 second. There we go. Yep, same
All
slide.
right. So let me redo this very quickly. So I was talking about the aggregating the data, aggregated data monitoring and reporting, which is one of the use cases for the Connect account, for the Connect solution. One of the primary uses or one of the primary use cases is that Connect solves a common data siloing problem, right? As we talked at the beginning of this presentation, and it allows for data aggregation, something that's normally a very painful process for our customers. For example, you might have an enterprise with multiple plants across different sites, and you need to get the data from across these sites for your partner teams, for example, right? Let's say your sustainability partners, for example, they will need access to all of the data coming from all of your sites. So they cannot just keep on logging into different systems to collect the data that they need. You want all that data to be somewhere where they can access and find all the data. They can contextualize it, they can visualize it. So this is one of the main uses, basically, or the use cases for Connect. Moving to the next one, which is my last slide, is the data sharing. So to build on top of that, another strong use case for Connect is the data sharing. Now that your data is in the cloud, you can choose exactly who to share it with. Connect uses what we call communities, and you can see them represented on the right side of the diagram here. Communities are essentially private groups that allow you to curate data sharing to specific people. What I mean by that is for each community you create, you can choose which data streams and dashboards to share. However, you invite to that community will only have access to that data or the data streams that you basically publish to that community and to the dashboards that you've chosen for that group. So this is extremely useful if you have external stakeholders you want to share data with, right? For example, as shown in the diagram here, these could be customers, equipment vendors, again, suppliers, or even agencies. All of these groups will need efficient way to monitor or report on your operations. So this is a very good tool to have basically this communities or private groups feature that Connect has. With communities feature, you're giving them a streamlined and secure way of doing the reporting. As the Connect admin, you have full control over this data sharing and external data transfer. And this is, incredibly valuable because without a cloud tool like Connect, sharing this kind of data with external consumers is often a laborious, or even worse, it could be insecure, right? And that's why these tools come in very, very handy. All right, I'm done with the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing just for a second there before I jump to my demo. So give me just 1 minute here. All right, let's see. So already share again. I think it logged me out, so I'm just gonna logging again. I'm logged into my Connect account now. I just put my email and username. This is the first thing you see. Sorry, my email and password. This is the first thing you see in the Connect portal. And all of these are different profiles that I was invited to. So this list that you're seeing here are profiles that invited me to see specific solutions. One thing to understand here is maybe a few years back, Connect was the cloud platform and it included everything. Before it became a solution itself, Connect was the online or the cloud platform for you to log in and have access and manage and utilize all of Aviva's cloud solutions, including integration studios, including Insight. Insight is still here, including engineering tools. So at this point here, I have access to all of those tools, and I'm invited to different solutions for all of those different tools from different profiles. So what I want to do here is go to our account. Let me re-sign in again. Come on. So you go to connect.aviva. Where's my authenticate again? I guess that's why it logged me out. All right, there you go. And I'll go to my, so I'm logged in. Yeah, there you go. So I logged into my account and I went to the specific profile, which is our Aviva selected profile. Now, as you can see here, this is the main page. You have more than just the Connect solution here. You also have Insight, and if you have Integration Studio, I'll show you another account later on that has multiple different tools. So just you could see that, so you could see the layout. But the most important things that I want to mention here are as an administrator, I have access to all of these tools. Folder management, this is where I group or manage my solutions. For example, I created this data hub and visualization folder, and I can basically enable some services, including visualization data services, and even Insight, which is not even part of Connect. So going back here to the folder management, this is where you would manage your different solutions. User management, very, very important section here. This is where you would manage users from within your organization that have access to certain solutions. So maybe I want some team members to have access to my Connect solution and some to have access to my Insight solution. You create roles, groups, and users here with this user management folder. And then for integration, access tokens and to integrate with third-party applications. If you want to look at your flex credits, you want to look at the overview of your consumption, of your budget, of how much left do you have, how much you have consumed, you can see that here. And then there's also an audit and reports sections here, and then there's the services catalog. So the services catalog has a list of services, as you could see here, right? So you could, if you have the right licensing, you have the right permissions, you can activate any of these licenses. This is what I'm talking about. This is the integration services, and then asset information, AIM, and then things like the E3D. So even the engineering and Point Cloud Manager, even the engineering tools services are right here. All right, so I'm gonna go back to home and start by clicking on data services, and I'll just quickly go through what we have there. All right, it's sign me out. There you go. So this is the home page for your data services. The first thing you want to notice, or the first thing you want to have a look at, is the streams, right? And the usage. All of these streams are stored. These are just data points that I have on my solution. The streams accessed yesterday, right? So I have only accessed 7 streams. Accessing means plotting a trend or accessing, for example, like some sort of visualization or reporting on that specific data point. That's considered accessing a stream. And by the way, in terms of licenses, you do not get charged on how many streams you have stored. I can have 90,000 streams or data points stored here on Connect, and I wouldn't get charged for them. We only get charged on the access streams. That's it. So when you access them, that's when you get charged. These are the streams that get counted towards the licensing. Also the users. So let's say you have a Connect solution where you have licenses for 5 consumers or 5 users. And let's say you have 1,000 streams stored. Let's say one of or 2 of them access the same stream. That stream counts only once, not twice. So every stream access per day is only counted once, no matter how many times the users access it. So again, this is just some general information about the system, quick links here. The health of the system, right? So connections to, for example, to your Pi, if you're replicating data from Pi server or from Historian. So all of these things, you'll be able to see them here, and you can customize this dashboard. Now, very quickly, I want to go to the sequential data store, and this is where you have a list of all of your points, all of your data points. Everything coming into your Connect is shown right here. As you can see, there's a description, a type, an ID showing for all of these points. I have points coming from Pi, and I have points coming from Aviva Historian, in my case, for this specific solution. And just to elaborate a little bit on that, so the data collection is categorized or like 3 different categories, basically, we can say. The edge data store and adapters, I don't have any third-party connections right now, but as you can see here to the left side, you have all of these adapters. You have Modbus, MQTT, OPC UA, even DMP3 and BACnet. You have all of these connectors that will tap into any third-party system as long as it talks any of these protocols. And you can also connect Pi, as you could see here, through the Pi agent and or the OMF connection. So Pi agent, I do have a Pi agent. It's working. Everything is good. I click on it. I can see the details here on the right side. I can view or edit the transfer, as you can see here. It's just taking a minute there to load the data. The data is coming from ASIF framework. So there's ASIF framework elements. And I also have implicit Pi points. The implicit Pi points are the points that are referenced by AF elements. This is the difference between implicit and explicit Pi points. You can edit these points. You can click on edit mode and actually start editing the properties of these different points. OMF connections, in my case here, I only have this one Aviva Historian OMF connection. My Historian and Pi system both live on our internal servers in our office, and I'm pushing the data to the cloud. So native integration with Aviva Historian, native integration with Pi, and then you have the adapters to talk to third-party systems. Now, in terms of visualization and to actually show you what I mean by accessing a stream, I'm going to click on trend here. And as you can see, I have a list of assets here, right? So all I need to do, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. I'm going to click on this to plot it. This is an inlet pump. I think this is the on-off value. There you go. I'm just going to click a bunch of these for you guys to see. Suction pressure. All of this data is simulated and it's all coming from our Pi server. You can manipulate this or configure it as you wish, multiple axes, single axes, or stacked axes. You can remove these traces from here. You can delete them or configure them from here. So, and you can also change the time window, zoom in, zoom out, and do all of that. So now that I've clicked all of these, right, and I've added all of these traces to my trend here, this is considered accessing streams. So now I've accessed at least 3 streams, right, so far today. Also, you can download the traces, and you can download as a CSV file with it will give you a list of values. The next thing that I wanted to show is the Asset Explorer. There you go. And from here, you can choose whatever asset that you have and look specifically into that asset. You can see the metadata, the properties, and the status, right, for that specific data. Analytics, you can create data views. So data views, very, very briefly, are they allow you to access subsets of data items from Connect data services in data-driven applications, where the items can be used for data science enablement. You can use data views, for example, to bridge your Power BI. By the way, you can download the Power BI connector from here for free. It's part of Connect, where it can be used for like analytics, machine learning, and so on. You can programmatically retrieve the data view or data view content using the Connect Data Services API. So this is just like a very quick overview of the views are. And then again, security, we're talking about groups, users, and roles. And then one thing that I really like
Oh, what comes?
the documentation that you need for Connect. It's so easy to search those, so easy to browse through it, and you can even download them or save them as PDFs. I really like the documentation. I highly recommend you guys look at it if you're ever working on any of the products, especially Connect. They also have, let me go back. We also have how-to videos. I'm not going to click on it now because I'm already over time and I do want to show you visualization. But these how-to videos are very good videos that show you exactly how to do things like installing the Pi agent and how to connect Pi to Connect, for example, and how to push your data. I'm gonna go back here and click on visualization now to quickly show you a little bit about visualization. So as you can see here, these are the streams that I have, the assets and the visualization so far. There's a difference between experience and visualization. Experiences are very special for Connect. They're not just dashboards, they're not just trends, but they provide a structured and an interactive visualization experience with a great amount of flexibility to design what you want. Their deep customization allows you basically to access unlimited choices in design, color schemes, menu interactions, and things like that. To create a visualization, if I'm gonna create a visualization very quickly here, I'm gonna, it's the same as what we used to do in Insight, for example, right? So here is visualization. You want to create a, let's say, line chart. You select that. And then you select the data from here, let's say, right? So any temperature, for example, there's a bearing temperature there. So if you click on that, you can create a whole dashboard and you can utilize whatever content types from here, graphics, even some graphical elements. If you have any existing uh, graphics, they can also show in here. So all of that is available out of the box. So you could create these dashboards. I do want to show you another demo from Aviva because it's way better than my demo. And this is where they have configured experiences basically. So if I clicked on this power underscore 1S, and this is how it looks like. This is what we mean by interactive visualization. You can click on things, right? So as you can see here, this is a power demo. I have the solar wind farms, hydrogen plants, solar plants. I can click on these links and they're dynamic. They will take me to other dashboards, right? Where I can see more information on that specific area or plant, for example. I'm just gonna click through just for you to see what kind of information you can add here. I like, hold on. Oh yeah, there's also a map now. I think this, they've upgraded this map now. It's an interactive dynamic map where you could click on assets also. Um, Very similar to what OMI can offer, but OMI is on premise. It's almost like you have OMI on the cloud, right? I want to go back to the home and I'm going to click on wind. So I click on this one here, just one of the wind turbines. You could see that I can gather, operational data, temperature data, weather data, financial data, right? You can also include and add engineering data here. So you could add your 3D models, for example, or any other engineering data from your systems. And this is, again, we go back to the same point. You're gathering data from different systems, could be tens of systems, and you're pushing all of that data into Connect, and then you can contextualize it, you can shape it, and you can visualize it for your data consumers as you wish. I'm done with the demo. I apologize for going 7 minutes over time. It's a huge topic. Connect is very, very popular. We talk about Connect literally every single day with our customers. We have an event planned at the end of October in Lake Forest, the Aviva office actually in Lake Forest, where we will be presenting Connect along with other products and other solutions. We would love to have you there. If you can join, you can speak to us. You can speak to, even product management from Aviva. Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be a huge event. We usually have these events somewhere around the fall. So I think this year it's decided the 29th of October. I don't know if Kyle or Annie, maybe you can share the link in the chat. Or maybe just we can send it with the
Yeah, I think we'll get one sent out to everyone.
perfect, perfect. All right, I'm gonna open the floor for questions.
Yeah, I know we went a bit over, but yeah, this is a great time to ask any questions. Elkon's is fairly knowledgeable on the subject, so she can help you out with anything. All right. We got a question here. Can we bring data from non-Aviva systems like Rockwell?
Yes, absolutely. The answer is yes, through the adapters.
Perfect. Another one. Can Connect pull in data from both legacy systems and cloud-based applications?
The answer is yes for this too. You can connect your legacy systems through the adapters, and if you also have data on the cloud, you can push that data to connect as well through the APIs.
Okay, let's see. All right. Can users without a technical background easily use this application, or is training required?
I would say that this is one of the, I mean, in terms of configuration, um, creating or like even pushing the data from your data sources into Connect, um, and utilizing basic utilization of Connect is very, very easy. It's something that you could just watch a couple of videos. It's very intuitive, very, very similar to Insight. Even for the visualization and the trending, as you could see, um, you're not going to be sitting there scripting anything, for example, right? Everything is available, all the tools are available there. Even like downloading and configuring things like the Power BI adapters. They're very good documentation and videos that take you through it. I would say you would rarely need training or help with at least the initial configuration and usage for Connect. Um, Maybe for things like utilizing the AI models, you might need, a little bit of it's a learning curve, but the initial basic or like the basic usage, definitely no training is required for that. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, we got another question here. Can data be input slash exported via CSV files?
Yes. Yeah, we can see, I think I showed you already something where you could import and export. So for example, if I go back to data services here, right? If you want to export the data itself, so if you want to like create trends here, you can download like CSV files. You create trends and you create charts and download that in CSV files. You can download like just a list of points or a list of points with values. You could also download or export, sorry, you could export dashboards also in the visualization.
Awesome. All right, I think we have time for this last one here. How long does it typically take to deploy Connect in an existing industrial environment?
That's a very nice question. Um, so, I mean, there are multiple factors that will affect the timeline or the execution timeline, starting with the number of the number of tags and the complexity of tags, right? And the data sources. Like, is it a PI system? Is it a third-party OPC UA system? There's some things on your side, like network and firewall configuration for like agent communication. This is on the customer side. So the faster they get this done and prepared, the easier it will be for them to kind of like create a Connect account and start utilizing it. But just to give you an idea, basic setup like account creation, for example, user provisioning, right? And like basic navigation, as I mentioned, even enabling Connect services like the data services and visualization services and the folder management on the Connect platform, we're talking about maybe like 1 day of setup. Right, this is the basic setup, 1 to 2 days. Initial data integration, setting up data connections from sources, again, like Pi, Historian, or Edge Data Store. Maybe we're talking about 1 to 2 weeks, right? Validating streams quality and things like that. Installing Pi to Data Hub agent, or even like configuring OMF interfaces if required, if applicable. These things, the initial data integration might take 1 to 2 weeks. Again, we're talking about a wide range here of customers. So we're talking about customers who maybe want to just push 200 streams or 200 tags to connect versus customers who are dealing with maybe 10,000 tags. So obviously the timeline is going to be very different. But more or less, it's gonna be like a few weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, depends on like again the size and the complexity. Visualization and dashboarding is an ongoing process. So I can't put a timeline on that because you will continuously be utilizing the tools on Connect to like design and publish dashboards using, Connect visualization or setting up communities. And you will always be changing things in these communities. So that's an ongoing thing. That's actually using rather than configuring or setting up Connect. I
Awesome.
hope that answers the question.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. I think that is all of our questions. So thank you, Alkanza, and thank you to everyone who attended. If you'd like to review any portion of this webinar or recording will be available on our YouTube and our website, california.avivaselect.com. And once available, you will also receive a copy of it via email. So I'd like to thank you all for attending, and I'd like to wish you a great day.